Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with match number 4 with our black-green Varolz, Lotleth Troll, Death Shadow. Hey, look, we have those in our opening hand. Definitely want to keep this. Other than the 4 lands, this is pretty much what you want to see in an opening hand. The only thing that would make this better would be probably like a Rites where we could sacrifice the whatever card we put the Death Shadows on after we scavenge it back with Varolz. So we can go ahead and play a Woodland Cemetery and play tapped. And next turn we can throw out the Lotleth Troll. I don't know if we quite do. I'm hoping just to he'll give us a target for the Nameless Inversion. But a Dragon Skull Summit could be Jund. Could be. I hope not a Waste Not, because I'm going to be planning on discarding a lot of cards here. But see what comes down here. It's a Butcher Ghoul. All right. This is going to be an interesting matchup. A Undying 1/1. So I definitely don't want to Nameless Inversion that. Let's draw a card, a land. There we go. That's actually going to be a fine card. I want to see like Vengevines here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and Satyr Wayfinder for sure. And it finds a bunch of stuff we don't care about. We wanted some Gravecrawlers and stuff, but we'll take another. Do we need another green source? Sure. We have green, black. Yeah, another green source. No, another black source is fine. And the Nameless Inversion can go to the bin. And then we will pass the turn back to our opponent. Wonder if he's some sort of. Yeah, I have not a clue what Butcher Ghoul the Undying is for. But a Rakdos Guildgate and then a Blood Artist, so he's going to get some advantage off of things dying. We will make this trade. No, we won't. We will not make this trade. We will let it go through. And I'll just Nameless Inversion the Blood Artist, because I bet the Blood Artist, again, this is probably some sort of Immortal Servitude build, actually, with Blood Artist. And, do you know what? I think we just go for the kill, though, with Lotleth Troll. Yeah, definitely. So we'll keep the Regeneration mana up with Lotleth Troll and end up discarding everything else. In fact, I can get it above Lightning Bolt range right now. If no, I don't want to. I'd have to discard the Varolz, and that's not what you want to see. So we'll attack in with the Satyr Wayfinder. And next turn we have the Varolz kill. By casting Varolz and then throwing it on the Lotleth Troll. Actually, yeah, it will be so it'll be 1, 2. It'll be up to 4, 4, 17, 8. Ooh, might not actually even be quite a kill. We need to draw into another creature. So a Hound of Gristlebrand. So it's another Undying card. So apologize for the non-tier 1 deck we're facing here. And again, he'll probably just swing in with Butcher Ghoul. And we'll just let it go through. Now, Hound is interesting. I might need to wait 1 turn. We'll see what we draw into. A Chameleon. That'll allow me to cast that from the graveyard. So how big can I get this guy? So I can discard 1, 2, 3. I can discard 3 of them, get them up to a 5. And then we throw the Death Shadow on. I think we just wait one more turn. Because, let's see. 13, so 15, 16, 17. 8, 17. So 17. And then he blocks. He can absorb some damage. I kind of just want a Nameless Inversion off the Blood Artist right now. And then keep everything back. Because next turn we don't need a lot of mana for the Varolz. What do I have in the graveyard? Another Nameless Inversion. I'm going to go ahead and just kill the Blood Artist. And then keep back double regeneration off the Lotleth Troll. So we do have to block this Hound of Gristlebrand. If he has any way to give it trample, we could be in trouble. But most likely, it is just going to be a kill next turn. I think we'll have enough. He is up to a 20 now. First strike whenever another creature dies, and we put a +1 counter on it. Okay. No haste on that. And see if he attacks in. He does attack him with his double striker. I will just throw the Satyr Wayfinder in front of it. So we'll get a counter on his little elemental, but that's fine. Alrighty, so what can we draw into? Another Death Shadow. Okay, that will do it. So we'll cast the Varolz. I think he could still bolt in response, but if he has a bolt in his hand. But we're going to go ahead and discard Death Shadow number 1. And scavenge it. And this way, if he's got a bolt, we can, in response, discard stuff. So, discard this guy. Discard this one. Discard the Death Shadow. Guess a Terminate could just kill it, but now we'll attack in. So, barring a Terminate or a Go for the Throat, we should win, yeah. And he does his scoop there. So, okay. He's a red deck, so I think I'll just bring in Phyrexian Crusaders. This is a way, I mean, all of these Doomblades are bad. Nameless Inversion is still fine. I'll just bring in, again, this Extraction Demon can come out. Chameleon Colossus is fine, though. He has a lot of black cards. And that will actually work to our advantage. Don't know how well I like these cards so far. It's just an idea with the Stromgald Scourge. I think that this type of card might be really good. This little strategy might be really good against like UWR control, as we'll be able to keep up with card advantage with them quite easily. So I guess we'll just take out a Satyr Wayfinder. Again, I think that Vengevine might not be the right route to go in this type of strategy, but we'll submit this. We haven't seen an aggressive Vengevine So, like, the best thing would be, like, 2 Vengevines in your opening hand with a Lotleth Troll, or even better, Grisly Salvage finding, say, a Lotleth Troll or something, and then getting those Vengevines in the graveyard, and then being able to cast Gravecrawlers, a Lotleth Troll, then, like, a Gravecrawler from the graveyard, and having 2 Vengevines come back. And then if they kill the Vengevines, you can always keep getting them back by sacrificing your Gravecrawlers and whatnot. So here's a hand I'm talking about. So if this would have been like a Lotleth Troll in the land here, this would have been a pretty decent hand. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to mulligan this to try to find some. This is fine. Double Death Shadow. What we need to find is a Varolz, and this becomes very, very powerful. And if he just gets us down low enough life, these Death Shadows become quite powerful. Alrighty, so first turn Swamp. We can just go ahead and first turn Woodland Cemetery is fine, as I don't think we cast a Death Shadow. And we'll Grisly Salvage try to find that secondary black source, or a Lotleth Troll, or a Varolz. So if there's a Lotleth Troll, a Varolz, or a secondary black source with a Grisly Salvage, which will pretty much mean we can't miss with the Grisly Salvage. So Butcher Ghoul again. And I don't think there's really any point. We'll just cast it right now. Wish this would have been in a card down so we could throw it in the graveyard. We really need a Lotleth Troll. We'll go ahead and just grab a Swamp. Chuck the rest of them. At least this gets us closer to what we need. And we'll have a Phyrexian Crusader that will be able to stabilize us against his deck at least. I mean, First Strike Infect is quite powerful. Undying, what will happen is it'll kill at the same time that it takes the counters off, and so it doesn't. Infect does not negate or Undying does not negate the Infect, the putting counters. So the Blood Artist is a bit of an issue. Again, these Death Shadows are going to be huge if I get low enough life. There is a Rite of Consumption. We will go ahead and just cast the Crusader. Well, this is a very clunky hand. Can't emphasize how much that I'm thinking that the red is the missing piece for that, for the Faithless Looting. Now, the cool thing is I'm actually thinking this might the Haakon strategy might go pretty well in this modern Waste Not deck. Now, once we get the Dark Deal legal on MTG, I'm going to be brewing around Waste Not quite a bit. And I'm thinking that I want to go in sort of a self-dredge type strategy and a self-mill type strategy with my own Waste Not deck. Because now you have Burning Inquiry and the Reforge the Soul and Dark Deal. So you have so many ways to just go through your own deck quite quickly. And then if you put in cards like the Haakon and Gravecrawlers and things like that, I'm thinking that the strategy won't be too shabby. So again, I'll just let this Butcher Ghoul go through. It's better than giving him a life, or yeah, we'll I'll just take a life. That's fine. But my idea with the Waste Not is I can run all those Changeling cards again. I could actually even put green. I don't think I'd want green for that actual Changeling, so it would be just the Phyrexian Crusader, the Haakon, and the Nameless Inversion. I think would be the way to go. All right, so what is he doing? He's Bone Splinters, destroy a creature. Okay, so this actually kills my Phyrexian Crusader. Does not dodge a black source, and his guy comes back, and my Crusader dies, and he's able to gain a life off the Blood Artist. So we're in terrible, terrible shape here. We have no way to really get the Haakon in the graveyard at this moment. Lotleth Troll will be a great draw. Varolz isn't too shabby. So, but if he's got a way to kill it, I can't discard it either. This is... Alright, we'll cast a Varolz. And I will just cast a Death Shadow. So it's in the graveyard. And he does get a life off of that, but that's fine. Now, you know, I probably should have waited. Rite of Consumption might have been pretty decent. Well, we can actually do Rite of Consumption next turn. Off double Death Shadow. Yeah, we should. If he doesn't have an answer, the double Death Shadow with Rite of Consumption should be enough. Should be 26. But I need another black source. So actually I can't. So I'll take 2 here. Go to 13. And now Death Shadow won't even die right off the bat. Gravecrawler. So put me up to... What else do I have in the graveyard? Just a Phyrexian Crusader. Oh, I have two Death Shadows in the graveyard. That still doesn't matter. Because I need another one. Well, we'll go for it. I should have cast a Gravecrawler first, so I could have regeneration. There's 15. I think I just swing in. See if he's got another bone. Tribute to Hunger. And he gains life equal to that. Wow. Well, that's no good. So he's up to 38. This is not going our way. 3 cards still left in hand. I still take another damage. Yeah, definitely should have cast that Gravecrawler before I scavenged, and then I could scavenge on another one. But we'll go ahead and cast Gravecrawler now. There's his red source, so I'm sure he's got some red cards to throw out. I'm going to be taking 2 off the Butcher Ghoul. And he's tagging to a Blood Arts, but doesn't do anything. Unless he's got some way to pump it. Down to a 10. 3 cards still left in our opponent's hand. There's a Jarad. We'll attack him for 2. Which takes him down to a 37. And at least we got a 5/5 out. And next turn we'll have a bigger Death Shadow type creature out too. So see if he makes me kill another card. No, he doesn't. Okay. So another Blood Artist. That's going to be very problematic because now I am on a clock just from things dying. He's going to be able to Dreadbore that off, which I can get it back by sacrificing stuff, but I'm going to be losing 2 life here. And then taking another 2 by the Butcher Ghoul. Which will allow me to cast the Death Shadow and have the Rite of Consumption to gain me back some life. But at this point, I just might just be too far behind. Vengevine. I can hardcast Vengevine. But it doesn't do a lot. As again, I'm just so close to just... So this would be minus X, where X matters, so it should be a 7/7. I'm just going to cast Vengevine. I don't like the play. We'll cast Vengevine, attack him with Gravecrawler. And this way I can block his Butcher Ghoul, and then his Butcher Ghoul will be dead. Unless he's, again, if he's got another removal, it's just game. Which it appears he does. And can I even cast a Death Shadow and kill it in time? Because the Blood Artist will trigger off immediately after I kill as part of the activation. So I think we're going to have to go on to a game number 3, which is very embarrassing with this deck. I will definitely play around removal in game number 3, because even if I cast this Death Shadow, right, it becomes a, but then I sacrifice it, I immediately take 2, and those triggers happen before. Yeah, I'll show you exactly what happens. So I sacrifice this, and then the Blood Artist triggers go first, and then I die. So, alright, we'll go on to the sideboard. I don't think maybe I do just bring in Dismembers or Devour Flesh does nothing versus him. Extractor Demon doesn't either. Satyr Wayfinder is going to do much. I'm just going to submit this, and hopefully we can get just an explosive draw against this, and then not have to worry about Dreadbores and removal. And just getting picked away with Blood Artist. I mean, his deck is quite weak if he doesn't have a Blood Artist, and we do have ways to get rid of Blood Artist with the Nameless Inversion. This is okay. I'm going to keep it. It's got a Gravecrawler for Phyrexian Crusader. It is action-packed at least. I mean, I do have playables. So let's go ahead and first turn Gravecrawler. And hopefully not draw into any more lands. Alright, no first turn play. There's a Death Shadow. That will be good later on for actually casting back a Vengevine. But we'll get it for 2. See if he's got the Butcher Ghoul again on turn number 2. There it is. On time as expected. Chameleon will be okay. It's pro-black. A lot of his removal was black. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack in with the Gravecrawler. And hopefully blocks. Rather just get it out of the way right now, rather than Blood Artist triggers down the road. Alright, so Phyrexian Crusader comes out. He'll be playing defense. And the Chameleon will come out, which he can't block the Chameleon. He can't remove it. And the Chameleon might just take over the game. See if he Dreadbores off the... He can't Dreadbore the Phyrexian Crusader. So he's got to use like Bone Splinters on the Phyrexian Crusader. And he has neither. So another Vengevine. I still think it's just the Chameleon here. I understand that Vengevine gets the... Well, we'll go Vengevine. Cast a Vengevine attack in. And just keep the Crusader back. Because I'm going to be winning by damage here, not by infect. He does have those Tributed Hungers, but Gravecrawlers can die. Go for the throat on the Vengevine. Which I'll, again, attack the Gravecrawler, leave Phyrexian Crusader back. And he does decide to block. Which will be nice to... I can actually get the Vengevine... I want to draw either a land or another creature I can just cast because that Vengevine will come back. But this is probably thinking he's got like a tribute now because he wanted that Gravecrawler dead. But losing a Phyrexian Crusader is not too bad. And he goes for the throat on the Phyrexian Crusader. So a land would be lovely if we draw into a land. If not, I think I'll chug out the other Vengevine. Because now I can cast Double Death Shadow to get back both Vengevine if this Vengevine dies. Now he's down to a 12. And the Death Shadows, if I get lower than a 13, will actually be able to stay in play. There's the Hound. Now I got to leave back a card for sure. Don't know what shenanigans you can do with Double Strike. There's a swamp, so I could go. Yep, this is awesome. So it's going to be the Chameleon, and we can cast the Gravecrawler from the graveyard, as this is a zombie. And then it gets back the other Vengevine. And we'll swing in with both Vengevines. Would not be surprised whatsoever if he just decides to block with the Hound. So that will kill the Hound. It'll come back as a 3/3. Which, if you can somehow pump it up, could spell disaster, but I highly doubt it. I didn't see anything else in his deck. He ran a lot of removal. And this guy is pretty resilient to any of his removal. I'm glad he's casting something right off the bat, showing me that, I have free reign. Four cards still in his hand. This is surprisingly effective, the deck that he's built with all the Undying. And he decides just to pass it. So I can't attack into this Hound anymore. There's a Varolz, though. I could just attack in with a Chameleon and he'd have to block. I want to cast just a Death Shadow. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll cast Varolz. And use green mana. And then cast a Death Shadow. Which will die. We can throw it on, I guess, a Vengevine. Or possibly this other Hound that does not have Undying yet. It's tempting to attack in with all three, 4, 5, 6. He blocks there. He blocks there. So he blocks there. He blocks there. And blocks. No. He just blocks there, there, and there. And I just lose stuff. Nope. So it's just going to be the not that Vengevine. Just this Vengevine. And he'll just have to throw a Hound in front of it. Again, Lotleth Troll is the perfect target for the Scavenge, as the trample is huge. I'm thinking that Soulflare might be a decent card when Soulflare comes out. As with this deck, you could exile a Vengevine for haste, exile a Lotleth Troll for trample, and then your Soulflare will have trample and haste. And I believe your Phyrexian Crusader could be first strike. I wonder if there's a way we could easily get Death Touch. But he just throws the ghoul. But the Soul Flare could be a pretty powerful card, is what I'm trying to say, with the options we have in the graveyard. I don't know if you'd ever want to exile a Vengevine, though. It's such a great card in Modern. Alright, so he's got both his Hounds. He's got plenty of cards in hand. We're down to 1 card. I've got blockers, though. A really good combination with the Varolz Gravecrawler, so I can regenerate Varolz all I want. If we draw into a Rites, it's just game right off the bat. Tazagura is another card that I'm thinking might be pretty decent in this. As then we can just keep getting cards back from our graveyard if it turns into a grindy game like this is most likely going to be. Alright, Blood Artist is annoying, as he's going to get value out of everything that dies. Don't like that tomb. So we could scavenge the Obliterator. He's just got so many blockers, 2 of them with Undying. At this point, though, scavenging on a Vengevine, you'd have to double block. I just wait for a Haakon for Phyrexian Crusader. That's something I don't want to. And I'm going to leave the Death Shadows back too, so we'll attack with the Vengevine, which he's going to block with the Butcher Ghoul. And we'll throw the Chameleon as well. He has to block it. So one of his Hound either has to get another Undying trigger on it. So he'll be out of Undying here. But he'll get 2 life in the process. And whatever else shenanigans he still has in his deck. So Ooze would be a great card as well in the sideboard for decks like our own and decks that do use either the Kitchen Finks type cards and the Undying type cards. 2 cards left in his hand. He could attack in with his Hounds. I'll definitely block if that's the case. He'll get more life out of that, but jeez, let's see what else. It's going to be Hellrider. Oh no, it's like an Innistrad block type deck. See what he attacks in. See if this is going to be enough damage. I have to block the double strikers. On the backswing, I can't even do enough. Yeah, this is just brutal. I think I lose this game. He does need to leave back a blocker, but he has 1 card left in hand. So I'm going to be taking 5 and 5. And I'm going to be losing 2 guys. And I think I just let Varolz... How do I do this? I think I just let Varolz go through. Or Varolz just block. So down to a 9. Because if I block and regenerate... Okay, so it doesn't matter either way. So I'm going to take 2. So he has to block. here and here. And I take 5. So this will give him a life. Go down to 8. 7. I'll go down to a 2. If he has any way to sacrifice something, I could just be dead. If he has a Bone Splitters, I'm just dead. See if that's the last card his hand happens to be a Bone Splitters. Because Bone Splitters will kill one of my cards. And kill one of his. And I embarrassingly will lose this matchup. And I think we can safely retire this deck if that's the case. Alrighty, so do we just scavenge the Gravecrawler? Yeah, I think that we just scavenge the Gravecrawler. Onto the Varolz. Puts him up to a 4/4. And we need to keep the Chameleon back for the pump, so yeah, we attack it with everything. If he's got the removal, he's got the removal. And there's really nothing we can do about it, so. Oh, and this does 12 damage here. Alright, so we do win that, but he had outs with like a Bone Splitter. That was a surprisingly lot tougher than I thought it'd be. And we'll go to the wrap-up video. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Playing on a Budget. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Gathering Magic and check out our Playing on a Budget playlist, which contains every episode. Thanks again, and hope to see you soon.